Today, we must take a wider look. Because of modern communication and modern technology, the whole world has become our neighborhood. And we are demographically moving closer and closer to each other, and we've become a neighborhood without becoming a brotherhood.
Journeyman is a platform where men can lay down their titles, grow together, learn from each other, and be accountable to each other. Many of us deal with several problems throughout our lives, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. At times, we may feel alone in our troubles. However, Journeyman is a space where you can feel safe expressing yourself with other men that are on the same path. Journeyman is a space for people like myself who never thought they would be living purposefully in their life.
What up, man? Hey, man, this thing is slumping today.
Get it.
And we got an arena song for y'all, man. This is, listen to the lyrics for a little bit, man, where you understand where the story's coming from today. Super excited about Sharpen. This is, the name of the song is God Made a Way by What Up RG. So that's the name of the artist. A shout out to What Up RG. Man, welcome to Sharpen. We are here, fellas. We are here. Back with the yellow button. And already, we're gonna keep it easy today, man. But I'm super excited about today, man. I'm just thrilled to be back on Sharpen tonight with my brother, my co-host, the one and only Patrick. Man, he's in the house, my brother.
What's going on? Let's go.
Oh man, I got an all-star guest today, man, and I'm just super excited for y'all to hear his story. I know him well. Patrick's known him for a couple of weeks now, or I don't know, maybe a week, and just
we're gonna go with 24 hours.
We're gonna go 24 hours.
But it's been a blessed 24 hours.
Yeah, that's good, man. But man, I'm so excited about today, and really, again, what Journeyman is we're creating spaces for men to come together, create some form of commitment and accountability with one another. To be able to sharpen one another. That's the end goal here, man. And this podcast is really just to highlight folks who are doing what we believe God's work and living out the mission in the areas of faith, family, and community, man. And so, man, I'm super excited to have with me, man, a guest of ours. And I've known this brother for quite a long time. And the streets have known this brother for quite a long time, but God's known him a longer time. And so it's really cool to kind of dive into the story here today, man. But real quick, Patrick, how's your month, man? How you feeling?
Month was good. We took the family down to Mammoth.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's an amazing spot. It's an amazing place where you can be in the mountains and be burning through with the sun, but then there's snow.
Yeah.
And then while you're looking at the snow, then you're seeing waterfalls. And as you're looking at the waterfalls, you're looking at like a forest.
Yeah.
And it's all the elements. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's like a dream, but it worked out pretty well.
Mammoth is beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. If you're a bigger brother like myself, man, take an inhaler because the air is thin. And man, they was my kids was they bless their hearts, man. They knew I was way behind, but they would wait up for me every now and then and actually push me up hills. But I made it.
I heard that.
So that's my the last month.
Man, Mammoth. Yeah, no, my month has been good, man. I've been tracking well. I've been pretty busy with work and so forth, man. But man, I had a good time with the family too, man. Before the kids got back to school out here in this region, and man, we surprised them with a weekend trip down LA, man. And it was beautiful. It's a good time. I got to see some Mickey ears and enjoy the hot long lines, but it was nice.
Yeah.
It was.
You guys want to go buy a new house or go to Disneyland?
Right, exactly.
Go to Disneyland. All right, we'll go to Disneyland. Dad, I guess. Man, you know how much we're spending here?
Yeah, exactly. There, that part on the ride where it's I think it's called Pirates of the Caribbean, and it goes dead man. All that. Every time I go through that ride, all I hear is dead man wallet.
Yeah, wallet. It's subliminal.
Yeah.
It's subliminal, man. That's how they get you.
It is. Well, that's exactly what it is.
That's good. Well, but as we move in to talk to Miguel, I do want to just mention the maybe a 30-minute conversation we had yesterday.
Yeah.
and just talking to me, hey, just tell me about yourself and what's on your heart about the podcast. And it was, we walked in today, and he's like, I feel like I already know it. It was just one of those conversations where the spirit knows a spirit.
Love it.
We're cut from the same cloth, and it's the same amazing story. We've talked about this before. Different races, different cultures, different nationalities, different parts of the country.
Yeah.
And regardless of where we talk to these people, I was a mess.
Yeah.
This happened.
Yep.
I allowed God to enter my life, and I accepted Christ, and it's the same story.
Yeah.
It's an amazing, and like I said, I never want to stop being in awe of God, but he never stops doing it.
That's right.
And so it was a bless. I just want to tell you, Miguel, right in front of everybody on camera, such a blessed conversation with you, young man. Such a blessed conversation. So the rest of the night's your guys'.
Yeah, man. Well, let's dive in, man. Let's welcome Miguel Toro to Sharpen Podcast.
Let's go,
man. We're super excited to have him here, and man, I've known Miguel for quite a few years, man, since I was a young buck, and I heard his name as a young buck. But like I said before, Jesus knew his name before I did, and the streets did. So, man, let's talk about who is Miguel Toro, man. Tell us who you are, man. Tell us where you come from, where you're born. Let's start there, man.
I'm just a regular man, and just that God had gave me a second chance of life, man. And I was lost. I thought I had it all, but in the midst of everything that I was doing, man, I was empty. But God came through, man, and it was just with a simple prayer. I never knew how to pray or anything like that. I wasn't raised in a church or anything. And I remember the day that God came into my life. It was deep, man. I was driving, and I was like at the prime of my life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But on another note, man, real quick, when I seen you, bro, I felt like I knew you because the conversation was deep, bro. When I seen you, I felt like I knew your face already. Like we've been friends a long time, man. Just because how we connected. But I just wanted to say that real quick, bro. But so I remember the day. I didn't mean to go all.
You're good.
Go into the church, but I kind of want to share my story because I'd rather glorify Jesus Christ more than anything. You know what I mean? What he did, and there's hope out there for anybody going through anything.
That's right.
And I remember I was in my prime, man, and I was empty though. I had everything. I could go out to eat wherever I wanted to. Go any place, anytime. I mean, money wasn't an issue, bro. But I was living in sin, and I was opening the door for a lot of people to come in. I was the devil's right hand man, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I never made a pact with him. I never understood when people would say, "Oh, I made a deal with the devil," or they sell their soul and all that, because you don't got to do that. He'll let you do your thing and not bother you as long as you're working for him. You know what I mean? You don't got to make a pact with him.
That's good.
But in secret, I was making a pact with God every time I would go out my house, or I was driving, or that cop got behind me, or the bullets went by my head. I always talk to him and like, man, thank you, God. I know you're with me. Something's protecting me since I was a little kid. Since when I was in that house, and they started robbing. I was in a home invasion when I was like 6, probably like 2-3 times until I was like 12.
Wow.
And the bullets are flying, and I'm sitting there as an innocent little kid just looking back and forth like, what's going on? Didn't even know they were fighting. They have a gun in there, and then bam, they start shooting. And I'm like, man, that was God. When I was in Mexico, and I remember jumping off that bus when I was like 12 years old, and I almost ran in the middle of the street. I thought it was like a walkway. And I didn't know, Mexico's crazy. The freeways are just, so I jumped off, and I always remember right when I stopped, man, the bus came going about 50 by my nose, and I was like, wow, I could have got killed right now.
Wow.
That was God. You know what I mean? And I never knew who the true living God was. I knew there was a God. I always had faith. My grandma told me all these stories, and as I got older, I started learning, like, hold on, that was King David? I thought that was just a guy that killed a giant with a slingshot.
Yeah.
I didn't know the rest of the story of that young kid, you know what I mean? And it was powerful, and then my grandma planted all these seeds in me, and she got took from us at a young age, so she was really the only person that really like showed me love. You know what I mean? She was my mom figure. My mom was young, had us young, so my grandma was always, I remember hiding between her legs so my mom couldn't hit me. You know what I mean? Every time mom was gonna spank me, bam, I'll run. But
me too.
And I remember I was talking to God on the way home from the gym actually, and I was just like, man, God, I'm tired of just being mad at breakfast, being mad at my girl. You know what I mean? They're all happy, and I'm in a bad mood, and I just want to be happy, man. I'm building. At the time, I was building a house on 26 acres, man, from the ground up. always told myself ever since I was a little kid, I never knew this, but your words have power.
Yeah.
So when I was a little kid sitting down in first grade, maybe second grade, and I remember I was broke, we're poor, cockroaches in the house and everything.
Yeah.
But I knew that the goal was everybody has to build their own house. That's like the ultimate. I made it. You know what I mean? And I was like, I want to do that one day. I want to be the first one in my family to build a house from the ground up.
And this was how long ago?
Man, I was like 8, probably, when I was speaking like that.
Oh, okay.
But I remember speaking this in my life when I was a little kid. And then as I got older, I realized the Bible says your words have power. You know what I mean? You speak it and it gives it's like a girl getting pregnant. The baby's growing and all of a sudden it gives birth. Yeah. And it gave birth when I was literally 30 years old. And I was like, I always remember saying that when I was a little kid. I'll be at school and I was like, man, I'll be the first one in my house, buy a house, build a house or whatever. And then bam, it happened, man. Yeah. So I'm just telling you guys, be careful when you speak.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know, and if you're having a hard time, if you're broke or you just have some kind of bad relationship with alcohol or anything, all you got to do is wake up and say the opposite. Man, I know I'm going to stop drinking. Man, I know I'm going to be blessed. I know I'm going to get that new car. I know I'm going to be the first one to buy that house. I know I'm going to have the best credit in my family. Yeah. I'm going to be the first one to travel the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be different. So speak those things, man. There's hope, man. I grew up in the neighborhood and it was just poverty, just drugs. That was it. The coolest highlight of your day is getting out of school, going to get a red hot burrito at the store with a 32 ounce. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was the dream. The
red
ultimate.
Hot burrito.
Remember that, bro? That was the ultimate dream.
That was like $2 back then.
It was at the store, bro. 75 cents went a long way back then. You know what I'm saying? So that was ultimate. Like that kept us happy. You know what I mean? And then but I was talking to God that day when I was coming home from the gym. I was like, man, God, if you're real, show me who you really are. I want to serve the true living God. You know what I mean? Jehovah, Jesus, who is it? I know you're real. Just I want to know the real God. Literally 7 days to when I was talking in that car, I got real sick. I want to say it was like around Father's Day or something.
Wow.
And I started feeling real sick. I started changing colors, and I remember I went to the hospital like, oh, you just pulled something on your back. So I thought at the time I was MMA, training kickboxing, MMA, and all that. So I thought I pulled something. And then it didn't go away. I got the medicine and I was like, man, my girl came home. I think she was making dinner. She looked at me on the couch and she was like, man, I think you better go to the hospital. Your face looks green. And so I got kind of scared. I'm like, man, I hate the hospital, bro. I'm not going. Mike, you guys can hear me good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so, and then I was just like, I'm not going. And I was like, you know what? When she said that, I go, let's go real quick. Got to the emergency. Walked in, I remember the doctor looking at me and he was just like, he checked me. I remember his name was Dr. Lauren. I remember the first thing he looked at me after he checked my breathing, he was like, hey man, I think you got pneumonia. I was like, pneumonia? I thought that was like the cowboy days or something. Yeah. Is that bad? He goes,
the third world country.
Yeah. I go, is that bad? And he goes, he's well, you're still alive. I was like, God. I was like, and he asked me, son, he was like, hey man, you ever have an AIDS test? And I was like, AIDS test? I was like, man, I lied. I was like, yeah, I did like a year ago. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh man. I was like, heck no, bro. I started getting spooked. But I remember talking to God when I was literally talking to that dude in my head. I was like, you know what, God? If this is what I deserve for all the things I've done, it's whatever.
Wow.
Let's do it. You know what I mean? But I'll ask you, man, just give me another chance of life and I'll serve you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to serve you sick. People see me going to the hospital or to church in a little chair or with no strength and crunches, you know what I mean? Or something. Just knowing that I'm dying. And I don't want people to see that because I'm like, man, that's why happened. That's why he goes to church. Because he's sick. Oh, that's why he's going, because he's gonna die. Yeah. So I told God, I go, heal me. Give me my strength back. I literally dropped my weight. I was like at 150. I literally, it hurt me to walk. I sit down. I was tired. I couldn't even go to the store, Walmart, or wherever, or shopping cart. I had to hold on to the shopping cart. I was so weak. My strength was gone. I remember I couldn't hold my head up from the hospital. I had to lay back, and then I was like, man, I'm not believing. I'm not dying. I know it's God doing something to me. I already knew that because I remember talking to him. It has to be God. And I remember people praying for me, and I was like, man, I felt peace. And when I made that deal with God in the hospital, they put me in the what's that little tunnel thing they put you in?
CT scan.
Yeah. The scan. What is it called?
CT.
Yeah, that they put me in that, man. And
or MRI.
Yeah, that thing. And I was like, man, I never knew how to pray, bro. But I talked to God. I'll tell you that. I got a hold of him that day. I started talking to him as they put me in that machine because they're checking me for cancer, all that. Okay, anything in your body, they'll pick it up. And I was just like, man, if I do have AIDS, I go, if you're God, you could literally reverse that right now in my blood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If that's what it is. But if it's anything else, just please give me another chance, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll serve you. I made so many big promises, man. I made big time promises. I remember when I was right there. And I felt something come over me when I was in that tunnel. But now I know it was the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
he started changing me right there. And I had people call me, "Oh, you're gonna be good. You're one of us." And I was like, "Look, bro, ain't nothing saving me right now. Only God Himself. I don't care how much money." I'm literally talking to a doctor like, "Hey, bro, how much do you guys need?"
Yeah.
I'll pay, bro. You know what I mean? He's like, "I can't help you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. That's just the politics." And I'm like, "Man,
Mm-hmm.
I don't got insurance.
Mm-hmm.
It's all faith now." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I just got this peace, and I would go home, and I was like, "Man, God, He's gonna get me better." And a day went by, 2 days, 5 days, and I'll go up and go back down, go up, go back down. I was just like, people coming over praying for me, people coming over say hi, like they're saying their last goodbye or something. I was like seeing their face, they're looking at me like, "Yeah, this brother looks like he's in trouble." You know what I'm saying? And I had faith, man, and people kept praying, and I started reading the Bible, and I put it on the playlist. I played that thing so loud. I remember I was asleep, and I felt like God had me in His lap, and He was just talking to me, and like the Bible, He was telling me stories as it was playing. And I woke up like falls on His lap, and like, what the heck?
Wow.
I told my wife, I felt like
It's all good.
Man, it's crazy, but yeah, God intervened in my life, man, and He did so much, and He changed me. But all those promises I made, man, I'm not gonna lie, I literally broke every single one of them in like 6 months after I got healed. I was in the club again, and man, I remember going to that club, man, and God was on me. I couldn't even concentrate. I had a beer right there, drinking Corona, just chilling. All my boys, "Hey, let's go." I'm like, "Bro, I think this is it. I can't do this no more."
Yeah.
And I just looked around, and I remember the promises I made in my head, like, God. And I remember driving home, and I was kind of like buzzing, or I'd be with somebody else in their car. I remember looking up as I'm getting home. It was like, I don't know what time it was. And I remember there's a big old sign on the freeway, and I remember reading it. It said, "If you die today, you're going to heaven or hell." And I was like, "Oh my God."
Wow.
I go, "I'm sorry, help me. I can't, man. I want to stop." And I'm still selling drugs at the time. And I was like, "Man, I'm going to church." I remember the pastor saying like, "Oh yeah, you could give the weekend, you give the club your best and all that and this." And I'm like, "Man, he's right."
Yeah.
And I'm over here hungover on service. My girl's slamming me with Pedialyte, all kinds of stuff for headaches. And I'm like, "Man, I want to change, God, but it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
I can't." And calling people, "Oh yeah, I need that." I'm like, "Look, bro, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
I can't touch drugs. I can't sell them no more. I'm done." Everyone thought I was playing. I'm like, "I can't, bro." We're just being at church, and I kept praying and crying. Literally, you know what? You really took it away. What broke it when I'll get to that altar, and I'll just start repenting and crying because it hurt, man. My flesh was dying because they wanted to go into the sin, and I was that's what I love. You know what I mean? It was just like I wanted to go back, but my spirit was crying because I knew it was time. I can't go back no more. I made a promise, and I'm the type of guy that if I make a promise to someone, I can't break it. That's just the man I am. If I handshake with you, it's what I believe. You know what I mean? It's just a man code that I got.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I cannot break this promise. And little by little, man, I'll go and still come over hungover, and I'm like, I can't. Bam, little by little, that broke. Club stopped. Told everybody I wasn't going. He's lying. I'm not lying, bro. So the last time I come around, people thought I was playing, and stopped that. Well, I didn't know how to stop selling drugs because it was just a gift I had. It was flowing, money flowed, everything's just, and then I just stopped, man. People start, "Hey, I'm come pick it up." I'm like, "I can't touch it though." I thought I was cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I'm not touching it though. And then little by little, I just like, I can't do this no more, bro.
So
I can't.
Yeah, that's good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And a couple things because me and Jose during this podcast we'll stop
Go ahead.
we'll forget. Do you feel like during those times where there was almost like a backsliding so soon after God healed you? Because you remember you're only about 30, 31 years old when this is happening, building the house and things are going great for you. Were there moments at the clubs, with the drugs and just kind of going back to that old life? Did you ever think you got that maybe God, you saved me and left me here on this earth for this? Like I'm going to clubs, I'm drinking, I'm partying, I'm doing all these things. Did you know in your mind, I know He didn't save me for this. I know He saved me for much more.
That's good.
Was that the dilemma at that time?
For sure. I didn't even know what the word backsliding meant. You know what I mean? Because I was new. I was still barely in the Lord, and then I just knew I could not do that because it hurt me. I felt like I was like, if you're married and you cheat on your wife, it's like it's in there, bro. Like you know what you promised, and I was just it wasn't. I was backsliding, but at the same time, I didn't even know what backsliding was because I got baptized later on. I think I wasn't baptized yet. The reason why I wouldn't do that because I was like, man, I want to come to God and I'm not going to ever sin again. I'm ready. What I learned, you're never ready.
You're never ready.
It's just you got to repent, and then when you repent and then you go into it, God starts changing you, and you won't even want to go back, and you get so far deep, and God starts showing you so much things you can't go back. Yeah. And if you do, I've been there. I try to go back, or I try to go hang out with certain people. And it's like a magnet. It's just pushing you away. Like two magnets are the opposite.
The opposite side,
yeah. And it just, I'm like, man, even if you try, it's me, bro. It's me though. Yeah. They just don't want you there. There's something. It's either the God in you that's giving them conviction that they just they're thinking they can't cuss in front of you. I'm like, bro, it's me, bro. Like, I'm not gonna change you, bro. Only God could do that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it wasn't. It was just a promise I made to God that made me not go back.
Because somebody's listening right now and they're going through the same struggle, and they want to change, but they know the life that they've lived. And so when people say, well, I gave my life to the Lord, there's just, I don't know what it is. It's the movies, or maybe they've just heard the wrong story, but they think abracadabra, snap. And then like all of a sudden I'm just a good person. Then they'll hear you cuss, or they'll hear you, you're struggling. You're like, oh, I thought you were a Christian. I thought, and what's scary about that, and we talked about this the other day, is there might be, I'm not saying everybody, I'm just saying there might be people in our lives that go, I'm going to keep an eye on Miguel. There's only a matter of time before he goes back. I'm going to keep an eye on Patrick. We keep an eye on Jose. There's only a matter of time before they go back to that old life. Keep your eyes on me, sucker. I'm not doing it. And another
all
thing,
eyes on me.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I'm sorry.
I think what's great about your story too is that God is okay with if.
Yeah, that's good. God
is okay with if. If you're listening out there and you're struggling, and listening to Miguel's story, God is okay with if.
Yep.
He said, if you're real, and if you are the one that can save me, and if you are, for those prayers of the grandmothers, give a shout out to all the grandmas out there just praying for their kids, man.
Yeah,
just on their knees, on their faces, just praying for the kids, because those seeds are planted.
Yes,
but God's okay with if, and you're a great example of that.
Yeah,
you're a great example of that. So you're struggling.
Yeah,
you're struggling. The house is being built. You obviously the pneumonia. You were healed.
Yes,
you were healed. It did take some time. Do you feel like? Let's talk about that struggle again. Let's talk about that process. It's the sanctification.
Yeah,
it's a sanctification God was doing with you. But
can
you maybe address that in those years of struggling?
Man, it isn't easy, man. If somebody would have told me the truth, like, hey, man, when you come to God, everything's all rainbows on the other side, man. Bro,
they lie.
It's hard, man, but that's why he says, pick up your cross and follow me, man. Carrying the cross the whole time, bro.
Daily.
I mean, you don't get crowned. Jesus didn't get crowned until he got betrayed by Judas, and he got, betrayed with a kiss. So imagine all the hurt, bro, into the last second.
Yeah.
Then he got crowned, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's hard, but at the same time, even if you are a Christian or you're a baby in the Lord, you're going to fall, man. And, you might not fall as bad as certain brothers or certain women or anything like that, but as long as you get back up, man, and you repent with your heart and just keep going forward, man, and God's with you. He says he'll never leave you or forsake you.
Yeah.
So I truly believe that, and the more God's like a gentleman, you know what I mean? He won't intervene until you allow him, until you open that door and just be like, come on in, you know what I mean? God, I need you. And he's just sitting there like, oh, that's what I was waiting for. Get back. Move back. All those demons, all those devils, all those Jezebels that's been in your life, get back. I got this.
Yeah.
So until you call him. So yeah, man, it was hard though, because at the same time when I was right at the house and we're building a ranch and all that, and I thought that was gonna be at my best life ever. You know what I mean? Like I did it. But it was one of the darkest times of my life, man, because it brought out so much evil out of people I loved. It was bad. I lost, and just this how it went down. Before my house was already done, I literally lost my dad out of my life. He literally turned on me. That's a man that I would have died for. I would have did anything for my dad. You know what I mean? And he turned his back on me, and he basically tried to set me up. You know what I mean? But God had plans. You know what I mean? God seemed to even in people's hearts what they were really trying to do. I lost my aunts, my grandma, grandpa. I didn't get to go to my grandpa's funeral because my dad didn't they all pushed me to the side because I was some bad Pablo Escobar crazy dude. Had guys walking around my house supposedly like Pablo, you know what I mean? Just just making me into a monster, bro.
Mm.
And I was more like a Robin Hood. I took from the bad and gave to the good, regardless of everything I did. That's why I know God had favor on my life. I've been in situations where I'll be shot at like crazy from here. I have the smoke in my mouth. I could feel the lead, and I'm like, there's no holes. I always knew I knew there was something protecting me from a long time. Like there's just something like I felt like that movie Geronimo, you can't be killed. You know what I mean? It's just, but it was God. Now I see it. I was like, man, it was all God because it's hard, man. But regardless how hard it gets, don't quit, man. Get up.
Is it true, and Jose, you can add on this too, that God has an interesting way of humbling us?
Oh, facts.
And when I'm this and I'm that, and it's an interesting way. You know, we've said it on the pod before, the higher the pedestal, the longer the fall.
Yes.
And so, you know, we put ourselves up there, and you know, he has an interesting way of humbling us. And also, you said it reminded me of a brother that really helped me out during my back hunting days. My struggles. Where I said I just love it. I just love it. I just love it. He goes, you don't love it. You lust it.
Mm.
He goes, you lust it. You don't love it.
Mm.
Love is you have a wrong way of looking at love. You don't love it. You lust it.
Mm.
And so that really put me in check. That really helped me out.
Man,
wow,
that's a wake up call right there.
Yeah, sure. One of the things that I wanted to share, man, just for the audience, man, you know, just knowing where you come from, Miguel, is you know, it's a rough neighborhood, and you know, over 90% Hispanic, and just knowing the poverty that you've come from, right? You shared a little bit of that. You know, the Hispanics Research Center is they put some research together. This is coming out of like 2019, but I'm sure it's a lot higher now. But most Hispanics children under age 18 primarily come from poor or near poor households. That's a big deal. You know, that these households are coming with, you know, less than, in the federal level, it's more than that. It's 200%. That's huge. So a lot of factors played into where you've come from, right? And this is why tonight's title is Sharpen Against All Odds, you know, and then Miguel Toro, because where you come from, you've in a sense ranked up, but by the grace of God, right? So you know, let's talk a little bit about your entrepreneur side, man. So um, so tell us a little bit about that, man. Like, so coming out of the streets, you made things happen, man. You got to the top of the top, I guess you would say, in different levels. You were able to buy your ranch, but through that, it was not the way that God formed it. So now now what? Now you're not getting income like you used to, right? So now what? What did you do from there?
Man, I don't know. I was just I had to go through the things we go through as young kids because it gave me that hunger, that fire to keep going. You know what I mean? When all the odds are against you, or all the people that doubt you or didn't believe in you, and I'm talking about even family members. You know what I mean? Or they speak words against you, or tell you you're going to be in prison your whole life, or you're going to be nothing. To the teachers that out of me in second grade, hold my friends back and tell them, don't hang around with that dude. He's a bad example. And I was like, man, that's messed up, man. Like I'll be telling my friends, what'd she tell you? And I'm like, bro, what'd she tell you? You know what I'm telling me? Like, bro, I'm not that bad. I go, bro, I'm just, we grew up, we have no chance in the neighborhood. You know, I grew up in the south side, in the deep. And bro, it's just, you had to come up with a solution to eat. You know what I mean? My mom over here not paying the rent lady hitting me up, hey, you got the money? I'm like, bro, I'm 15. What the heck? I'm like, I ain't got no money to give you. So right there, I just, at a young age, man, I remember how it started, man. It's like, it just at a young age, I remember being at my house, man. This is deep. I remember waking up, going to school. I was probably like 8. I'll wake up in the kitchen, man. This is deep. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just true stuff. I remember waking up, going to school, and I looked at my table, and on the kitchen table is literally my picture frame of me as a little kid and my sister. And I'm seeing like lines of cocaine. I didn't know what it really was at the time, but I knew it was bad not to touch it.
Right.
rolled up dollars, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm looking around, everybody just sleeping and just hung over.
Yeah.
Beer everywhere. And I'm like, man, what's going on? And I go, man, this is where I start thinking. I was like, man, I see this is crazy, because I'm like literally 8 years old, maybe 7. I'm looking at these dudes. I'm like, these dudes' downfall is that they're using their own stuff.
Yeah.
That's what's making these dudes. I go, man, if I had money like this, I'd be buying cars, houses, buying all kinds of stuff. So in my head, I remember telling myself, I'm gonna do what they're doing, but I'm gonna use it to get power to buy my cars, to buy a house, to do everything, man. As a little kid, I already had this entrepreneur trying to hustle, trying to sell candy, all that. But I remember making that pack in my head that day, like, watch, because I was hurt. I was mad seeing my picture with that on it. I'm like, what the heck? That's me, bro. Like, that's disrespectful, bro. I'm a little kid, you know. We try to hide it or something. But I remember I'm gonna do what these guys are doing, but I'm gonna use it to move up in life. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit there laying, sleeping. You know what I mean? Not even throwing up on yourself or something. You know what I mean? And so that's where it all started. And then as I started getting older, I went into like just little things like the weed game, and I remember marijuana wasn't even legal yet.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. And I remember once I learned how to grow one seed, man, that was a wrap. It took me to a whole nother level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. So that started off that, and then I went into a deeper thing, and it was like hardcore drugs. And but I remember, let me share this real quick. I remember when I got saved. When God came in my life, I go, look, I'm gonna stop selling this because this is poison. But I'm gonna sell this because it grows on the earth. So this is okay, right? So I gave up this, but now this. And man, literally when I was talking to God about that, all my houses got hit back to back. Literally, I go, if you don't want me to do that no more, show me. Man, you gotta be careful. 2 days later, my house has never been raided. After that, one house got hit. They took everything. Next house got hit.
I think we touched on it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I worked in the juvenile system for many years, and not really changing anybody, but bringing out that gift that they were born with.
Yeah.
And the best hustlers and the most influential, I had, in dealing with gang members and drug addicts and prostitutes, they were amazing influencers. They were amazing convincing people. They were amazing at gathering and bringing people together and networking. And so all of those things are a gift, but they used it for bad, basically. Yes. And so when they come out of that and Christ enters your life, and you the scales are now off your eyes, it's not like, okay, well, you no longer have that gift of hustle, that gift of entrepreneurship, or that gift of networking. You're just using that now for the glory of God. And I think that's important for us to acknowledge. And then those watching, we're not trying to change anybody or fix anybody. It's simply, what are you using your talents for?
That's right.
And you're a great example of that, Miguel, where you had vision, you had entrepreneurship, you had networking, you had influence, structure, knowing who to trust and not to trust. That's important in business. And so God's doing amazing things with you now.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. So and you kicked off, out of that mess, the Lord, again, you shifted out of that. And it's like, man, what the heck did I do? But see, when the Lord then begins to provide when you're giving your all to Him, right? So now everything's gone. You're gone. What else kicks in from there? Like, what goes from there?
Well, this is where we went, man. I was blessed, and I went into real estate around that time. I remember in 2008 when the houses went down, I bought a couple houses, and then of course the ranch, and then so that's what got me to this level, to where I'm at right now. 10 years later, hasn't sold drugs. I'm 10 years in, man, never selling drugs, doing anything illegal. Don't have to lie to nobody, poison anybody, bro. And I'm more blessed than ever. I'm traveling places. God has really opened doors, man. And this is just the beginning, man. A lot of people think serving God is boring and it's for poor people. It's for sadness, man. The blessings of God, man. If God's with you, man, nothing's gonna come against you, man. He's gonna bless you, man. And I believe the blessings of Abraham over me and my family. I pray that all the time, man. And to get that revelation, you know what I mean? But that's where it all took place, man. I got into real estate, And that was the best thing I ever did in my life. It took me to another level. And then I did it all though. We rented jumpers. We had a jumper business.
Yeah.
Did that for like, I don't know how many years.
We're slanging jumpers now, everybody.
Hey, but check this out. Check this, man. On one week, I used to, I would volunteer with this guy like on a weekend. He'll buy me a hot dog. He'll pay me here and there, whatever he gave me. But I would volunteer, and it's hard work, man. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm like, well, how much you make this weekend? He would tell me, and I'm like, for 2 days. I'm like, what? No. I was like, man, I'm making that in a month. So flipping all that and turning away from your wicked ways in a sense, and then jumper business. I'm like, dude, I'm in the wrong business, bro. Like, but yeah, obviously it was hard work and all that other stuff, but man, it just started taking off, right? And you're doing that for several years, and 2 days a week, man, gives you a full month's of salary, So that's just the blessing that I was seeing with Miguel, man. But now looking at where you're at now, man, now you're involved with ministry, and God's calling you to different places. You're traveling and basically retired, man. Loving it. Loving that life. And what has God called you to do right now, or what mode are you in? What are you seeing like for yourself and your family?
Man, I don't know. I'm like in a super new season for me. At my house, it's like Disneyland every day. I got 5 kids. I mean, I got 5 daughters and 2 boys, man. And my oldest daughter just got married, man, about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gone in Florida for about 5 months. We just got back, so it's crazy. It's just so much going on.
Yeah.
But what I really feel like God's calling us to do right now, man, I truly believe He's calling us to get ready, man, because there's gonna be a great need for the kingdom of God here on this earth right now, man.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ain't seeing it, wherever you go, man, people are walking around like zombies right now.
Yeah.
I'm just being real. I'm not sugarcoating that. I'm just, if you look around, if you had a camera on you and you're recording as you're driving on the freeway, you're going to the grocery store, you feel it. You see the people losing their mind. They look like robots, just like they're getting disconnected or something. Like the system's breaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just the need that in this world for godly people to be the light. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To say in their way, all right, to just be positive and bring light to people. But I truly believe that He's called us here to stand as men, because they need real men in this world right now. You know what I mean? To stand up for your family, because out there it seems like it's just lawlessness. So I believe God's calling us for that, and He's getting us ready for the end time harvest and this great wealth that's coming to the church. Mm-hmm. I truly believe there's something big that's going to happen right in this year. Mm-hmm. I feel it in my spirit. So people think that we're blessed right now, man. They ain't seen nothing yet, man. People are going to see what God does for the people. There's going to be a lot of people like, man, I want to know their God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's just getting us ready because the kingdom of heaven's at hand, man. And I truly believe it. And he's calling us to bring people to the light and to the truth, man, and get them ready. Because when we die, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go in one place, either heaven or up, you know what I mean? Heaven or somewhere else. And I want to be on the good side, man.
I heard that.
My thing right now is I love having fun. I love traveling, taking my family places, going out to eat, hanging out, man. And I'm blessed, man. I can't even get to say like I'm retired right now. It's weird. I'm even embarrassed. Like I don't like telling certain people like, bro, I don't work, because a lot of people work, bro, and it might hurt them or something. Like they might not be happy to hear that bit.
Right.
That's just the way I heard. God knows I'll use my bag. I'll work if I have to in the orchards, cherries. I'll do all that, bro. I put my life on the line to get where I'm at right now. People don't realize that. Mm-hmm. I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of family. But God is good, man. Yeah. And this year is going to be the best year of the church, man. The Church of Christ, man. It's going to be beautiful, man. Before the year's over.
It's interesting because we talked the other day that we just are in agreement. I think a lot of us are in agreement that we're just in some interesting times.
Very much.
Let's call it that.
Yeah.
Some interesting times. And I was watching TV the other day, and the fires in Hawaii right now.
It's crazy.
Is it Maui?
Yeah, Maui. Yeah.
And I've been to that island, and to see, there's I think 40 people at this time have passed, but to see this oasis, this kind of luxury island
paradise
up in flames, And when you have everything, and this is life, this is all I am, and this is the paradise that I live for, and I worked so hard throughout my life to just live here, maybe. But at the end of the day, that can go like that.
Right.
And when it's all said and done, a lot of people don't realize that God's all you need until God's all you have.
That's it.
And so it's our hearts go out to them. But
Yes.
having everything is exactly that. I have everything.
Yeah. Wow.
And so at the end of the day, what does that really matter?
Yeah.
You know, who are you? Who are you with your faith, and who are you with what really matters? Your family.
Right.
So good, man. That's just an amazing outlook. That's an amazing outlook that you have, Miguel. And do you have anything else, Jose?
Yeah. No. One of the things that I know that you've been gifted in is really just starting business, man. You've been really gifted in that structure of the business arena, and against all odds, your life. Men who are out there, young men who are watching this pod, you think the nice cards are awesome. You see folks doing that. You see the nice whatever, the bling, all that. But at the end of the day, it becomes either life or death, and at the end of the day, is where or how are you going to live your life in a way that is going to live out the three factors that we talk about: faith, family, and community. And the only way you can do that is if you're fulfilled in life, right? So, Miguel, just knowing like your story and knowing where you've come from, and then knowing, your life without a father and everything else. And then now you're finding the greatest father of all, man. Now what is something that from your business side is what do you see happening with that? I mean, what else do you do?
Man, so there's different things, man. It's just right now, I'm really my sights on technology on the phone, man.
Yeah.
It's never been. I'm telling you, it's never been so easy to make money.
Yeah.
This is going to be a time where there's going to be a lot of millionaires and young millionaires like never before. Like I don't know what they called it when a long time ago. I know a lot of people became millionaires. What was it called? It was what they call it? I forgot what they call it.
I wasn't part of that group.
Me neither.
Anyways,
I wish I was.
We're at time right now, man. So it's so easy. You don't all this whole thing since everything that's been happening. It's getting. They're calling it a great reset, whatever.
Yeah.
They're just resetting the way we make our money. A lot of people are making a lot of money, man, and they're just keeping you distracted. So make sure you're not distracted.
Yeah.
Start learning about all the new technologies, blockchains. A lot of people don't like that. They'd be like, "Oh, that's the devil." But man, you could also do the things that the devil's doing, or use his stuff and checkmate him with his own game, and for the kingdom of God, and God's on our side, so there's no way we could lose.
Right.
So that's a big thing. I'm a big investor in stuff like that.
Yeah.
I got this new business. We went out to Florida, and we seen this thing. It was called Active Pro Technology. It was a Valera company. And when I heard what it does, man, it blew me away. I was like, bro, if it does that, I'm all in. I told my wife. My wife was like, let's do it. Brought it back. I got a friend, man. He's doing real good with it. He just got a nice deal. He pretty soon, I believe this is it's air quality, so it protects your home from anything. So I believe it's gonna be like the next solar, the next clean water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's called Active Pure. DM us if you want to know about it, man, and we'll be more than happy to help you with that. That's another business. That's just extra income. But right now, man, I'm just flowing, man. I'm enjoying life with my wife. Enjoying my espressos in the morning with my wife at home. Sometimes, we still do things. We do things for God, and wherever God wants us, man. Wherever He calls me, wherever He wants us to go, we're gonna go, man. Ain't nobody gonna stop us. That's what gives me my joy. The more I talk to God, what I realize in life now, when I talk to God, it's like my best. It gets my heart pumping.
Yeah.
It's like coming out the gym, like super jacked, like, man, on some C4 or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Man, I noticed that, and that's just the blessing that whenever I speak about God, I start feeling bam, like I feel alive like never before.
Yeah. And I'm gonna bring in like the gym. And Miguel's buffed. So I mean, I told him put some ice on there, bro. I told him Miguel put some ice on there. The swelling will go down, young man. Okay, so don't. But in talking like that, that's something we have to consistently do. We have to consistently work out. We have to consistently make it a part of our lives and integrate that. Not something we do as a hobby, but this is a lifestyle.
That's good.
And so our faith our faith we don't just do for 2 hours on Sunday, because if you only went to the gym for 2 hours on Sunday, how in shape would you be?
Amen.
And it has to be a daily thing and a conscious thing. You have to do it even on the days you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And so I can see how that kind of is kind of a parallel in your life. I don't know a lot about you, only because the great story that you told tonight and the mirrors the story you told me yesterday. Such a blessing. But you are married.
Yeah.
And how long have you been married?
I'm going on 10 years, man.
Hey.
10 years. So at that time when it was all almost hitting the fan, and during those rough times, I've noticed that you've mentioned your wife about 10 times tonight.
Yeah.
My wife?
Yeah. What's her name, man?
Hey,
I get a shout out.
My wife, Lisa, man.
I've noticed you mentioned your wife about 10 times tonight. And do you like being a husband?
Oh yeah, man. It's if without being a husband or being a father, there wouldn't be no driving me. That's what got me to where I'm at too. That's what gave me the regardless what fear came against me, I knew I had to stand up because I got a family. And I never wanted to be that dad that abandoned my kids, because I was that kid. And that could ruin a kid real bad, man. It's either gonna build them up strong, or it's gonna be their weakness in life, and they're gonna use that to always be down and be petty and say it's because of this. But for anyone that doesn't have a dad or didn't have the right parents or anything, man, trust me, all you need to do is talk to your true dad. He's listening. Pray, man. Just talk to him like how you talk to your friend. Just talk like that. There's no certain prayer you got to pray. Just talk to him, and he's gonna give you life. He'll give you hope. He'll give you anything. He'll give you that job you need, that marriage you want, them kids you want, to everything, man. He'll do it all, man. He's King of Kings. If your dad's the king, then that means you're a son of the king, man. So that means you got access to kingdom stuff, and you got to really believe that, because he's a king, and if he's king, man, there's nothing that you cannot have on this planet as you're here, man. You just got to tap into it. You tap into that right environment, and it's flowing. You can't stop no more.
Yeah.
And I'm venturing to say that you've had some other titles in your past. We've heard some of your titles of drug dealer and club scene or whatever you want to call it. But you've had some other titles, but this title of child of God,
it's good,
husband, father. I'm guessing it's safe to say those titles mean more to you than any of those titles that you had.
So good.
In the past. Is that true, Miguel?
Yeah. That's all it is, man. Because that's all I got now. That's all I got. I got my family, and fortunately, I love friends and all that. But my family is the only thing I got. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes me who I am. I want to be my main prayer, man, is to be a superhero when they see me. You know what I mean? Like, man, this dude, my dad's bad. My husband, he's just like, this dude's bad. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to be remembered. You know what I mean? And most of all, he loved God. And he knew God, and the things that God did in his life, where people, when they hear it, they become automatic believers, because they know that was the true living God. That was a God moment. Where angels came and intervened and opened those doors for him and protected him with the cross with no danger. We walk into a super portal that opens up from heaven and get you across with your family, stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's deep. I got so many testimonies that God did where it's so powerful, man. But I forgot. I don't know if I told you my wife. Did you ask me? Did I say her name? Or
Lisa. Right now.
Oh yeah,
right
Lisa.
now you did.
Lisa,
shout out
babe.
to Lisa.
Hey, babe, I love you, and I'm proud of you, man. And man, I can't ask for nothing better, man. She took care of me when I was with her. We were together. We weren't married at the time. When that happened, she stood by me, man. She was like an angel on the side of me, because she was there for all the bad reports that the doctors were telling me. She was like, man, well, I'm right here. We're gonna die together then. And bro, when she looked at me and said that, I was like, if I live, I gotta marry this girl.
That's the one.
And everybody be like, hey, bro, you better marry her. You know what I mean? They'll come over this year just cooking and doing everything, bro. And I was blind. I had my eyes on all kinds of things. I didn't care, bro. I was like, whatever, bro. I got everything. And that day I told God, like, I'm gonna marry her. And I kept my word, and I married her. And sometimes she'd be like, yeah, you love me because you made a promise to God. I'm like, yeah, but that don't mean I love you, but I'm here.
No, brother. Hey, listen.
Be real, bro.
Welcome to the committee and the group of the having wives out of our leagues. You're officially in this. Yeah, we all have wives out of our leagues, man. And so shout out. But these titles that you have, and there still is that. Because I know you're touching so many hearts right now. Whoever's going to listen to us, once again, if it's 2 people or if it's 2,000 people, this same story of this is how I lived. God intervened, and it wasn't super easy overnight. When I tell people, my story, I tell them I didn't devote my life to, because when I got saved in April 4th of 2004, my life actually got harder. And I think my life got harder because my life was a lot easier before I cared.
Yeah. That's good.
My life, so I would venture to say our lives were easier. And how many people are listening? Your life was just a lot easier before you cared.
That's good.
Before you cared about people, before you cared about consequences, your life is a lot easier before you cared. So there still is that struggle, but over time, I would venture to say there's moments of those struggles, but not all the time. And we give our lives to the Lord, not for our lives to get better, but to get right.
That's good.
Amen.
And so do you feel that where you didn't necessarily devote your life to get better? Of course you did get better, but it's more about getting right with God. And does that keep you motivated?
Oh, every day, man. That's what gives me the drive, man, to keep going. And just to be a dad and just to see my kids have a better future. I wish, I know you said you work for juvenile hall and all that, and how you encourage the kids, man. I wish I would have had that. If I told you what happened to me when I went to juvenile hall and I would go to court and all that, and the guys that are supposed to like talk to your probation officers, whatever. But I walked in one time and I had my belt hanging. That was when you had the belt with your initial.
I remember,
on it.
I remember.
And it was hanging. I had dude literally grabbed me, bro, by my belt in front of everybody in the hallway and goes, "Oh, you know what these are for?" He's talking to the lady, the secretary or something. He goes, "This is what you do with it. It's for this." He picks me up off the ground. I wish I knew who that dude was, man. So I go lay hands on him. You know what I mean? And he picked me up, bro. Way. And I'm like, that's what happens when you don't have parents to back you up, bro. And people feed off that.
Yeah.
And baby, what you're saying you're doing, bro, that's man. You would have changed my life a long time ago if you talked to me like that.
Yeah. Well, again, any job, and any, I'll address that too. In any job, we always, I teach now. I teach a local college, and we say in any job, in officers, in the hospitals, at McDonald's, you have three employees. You have your all-stars, and then you have your just enough, just enough. Yeah. And then you have your, how the hell have you not been fired yet?
That's good.
You guys with me on that?
Totally.
And so everybody is, if you're listening, you're nodding your head. You know who your all-stars are.
Yep.
You know who you're just enough, just give them. And then there's somebody at your job. It's like, how the blankety blank have you not been fired yet? That's at every job. So we can only be a good example of at that time. But yeah, it's such a powerful story, Miguel. Yeah. It's awesome. Go ahead, Jose.
Yeah, no, and just to kind of wrapping up, man, one thing that we like to do here at Sharpen is really just kind of what we say. Patrick got these sayings, man. I'm telling you, Patrick has a small business in him of T-shirts and marketing material, because he's got all these sayings that he comes up with, man. But he says, I like, at the end of the show, we like to give flowers. And, you want to explain that, Patrick? What does that mean?
Yeah, I got that from a podcast I listened to called The Pivot. Amazing podcast. You guys should check it out. But they basically say, let's give flowers, and telling that person something good about them, because you don't want to get, the only time people get flowers is at their funeral. Yeah. So don't wait for somebody to die for you to say something good about them. Yeah. So give them their flowers now. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's what we kind of want to do, man. And Miguel, I just want to tell you, man, I'm just super honored to know you as a brother, man, know your story, know what you come from, and just knowing how you're leading in the way that you do, in the way that God's called you to do. God's called you to do great things, and you're doing it, man. And you build my faith, you build my encouragement, you sharpen me left and right in different areas. I just want to say, man, I'm just super thankful for your life. And, for those folks who are watching this and who are thinking, that's me right now. That's where I'm at right now. As far as Miguel's previous life, there's a way out.
That's right.
There's a way out. And so you're looking at a miracle. You're looking at all the odds against a brother, the person who come from poverty, person who's come from, a dangerous life, and, has been shot at, who's, all kinds of crazy stuff. Been stabbed, and God has saw favor to moving forward in these areas of faith, family, community, man. So I honor you, bro.
Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate you and your family, bro. You're being a blessing to me too, bro.
You know, you're a great example of a mess becoming a message.
That's good,
Miguel. And people hear with their eyes.
Yeah, that's so good.
People hear with their eyes, and so they're hearing, well, I'm saved, or hearing, oh, I love the Lord, and hearing, but they're watching your actions.
So good.
And we say, you know, we've heard it before. The you might be the only Bible that people read,
right?
Wow.
And so let your life continue to. I just encourage you as a young man, you know, let your life continue to speak for you, and continue to love your wife and your kids, and know that enemy, that sucker, he's hey, when you want to come back out, you know, we got stuff going on. We could use you.
Yeah.
Hey, just, you know, every now and then I look through that people like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I know this does not end well. I know this does not end well, but I am very aware that can come back at it. Sorry to use your broom, Jose. Just to give a visual, but
that's good.
You know, we have to remember that the second we think we have it all together 1,000%, and that's the time that will come in. So let's let iron continue to sharpen iron.
That's right.
You're a brother for life now, man. And, you know, we'll always know each other. And is there anything that you want to leave? Whoever's listening right now.
Look at that cameraman and just tell that Miguel that's out there.
I'm telling the Miguels, the Michelles, man. If there's anything out there that you're battling with and you're ashamed, if you were part of a church or you were walking with God at once and you gave up because you fell, don't let the enemy lie to you. Get back up, man, and just keep going forward, man. Go, keep going. Don't stop. So whatever you're going through, man, God hears you. He sees everything, man. And I'm telling you, this is a good time right now. Everybody, I'm telling everybody, man, this is it, man. This is where you want to know the King, man, because there's gonna be a lot of blessings, man, and don't get left out.
Yeah,
but God loves you so much that he's gonna get you there.
That's good.
So we just thank you guys for coming on, and thank you for bringing me on, man. This is out of my, you know what I mean. I'm not used to this bit, man. Like it's gonna be like a top G. I'm like, man, we're gonna bring in the real top G. We're gonna give him God. You know what I mean? That's the real top G.
That's good.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys, bro.
Yeah. Well, let's give a big shout out, man, to Miguel Toro. Thank you for being on, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your story. And man, I'm excited because next month, man, I get to interview the co-host of the year, man, Patrick Correa. He's been a co-host, man, but he's got a powerful story, and he's living out the mission in the area as a faith family community, man. So I'm excited about next month. Tune in. We'll be September, the second week of September. We'll be live again, and again, we're on Spotify now, so this will be loaded there. As well as YouTube, Facebook, and follow us on all our social media. Check us out. We have a website, journeymannation.com, if you want to stay connected to us. And you know, we're beginning to launch more and deeper into the community, man. So
when you asked me to do the pod, I didn't know whether to feel honored or that you ran out of people to interview. So we'll see what happens, brother, man. Stay tuned. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We love you. God bless you.
We'll see you next month.
But today we must take a wider look. Because of modern communication and modern technology, the whole world has become our neighborhood. And we are demographically moving closer and closer to each other, and we've become a neighborhood without becoming a brotherhood.
Journeyman is a platform where men can lay down their titles, grow together, learn from each other, and be accountable to each other. Many of us deal with several problems throughout our lives, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. At times, we may feel alone in our troubles. However, Journeyman is a space where you can feel safe expressing yourself with other men that are on the same path. Journeyman is a space for people like myself who never thought they would be living purposefully in their life.